pretty unreal.
Yeah, now he bounces Bob. Plays a Crucible of Worlds, it looks like. Yep.
That is a Crucible of Worlds.
And now he can play 2 lands from the graveyard. He's only got 1 in there right now on the Scalding Tarn.
Yeah, but he can play it and sacrifice it and then play it again.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
is that Horn of Greed?
Yeah, and Horn of Greed with the fetch land will draw him 2 cards for each fetch land.
Oh my gosh,
and then,
draw a card. Yeah, let's see the text on Horn of Greed.
And it's from Stronghold, so yeah, Tempest Block. And it's whenever a player plays a land, that player draws a card. So it's not when the land enters the battlefield. You have to actually play the land. So
he plays the second land. Again, it's the Scalding Tarn.
All right.
But he's playing it from the graveyard, so he's still drawing a card. Tarn, just not off of the land he gets from the Tarn.
Yeah.
So I see he's responding to that trigger by fetching, so just so he doesn't, I guess, draw into another land.
Yeah, he wants to draw as few lands as possible now because he can just use his graveyard for 2 lands and 2 cards every turn from this point forward.
He's got 11 billion lands in play anyway. So there's that same old Bob coming back down for David, and David passes back to Ollie. Oh no, he didn't. He did this result, and now he has a Stoneforge Mystic. Now Ollie has counter spell for Stoneforge Mystic, and Ollie untaps with 8 lands in play, alongside Jace the Mind Sculptor, Exploration, Crucible of Worlds, and Horn of Greed. David just scoops it up. I can't fight all these lands.
Turbo land?
Yeah, seriously, this is awesome.
It feels like... Where's V? Where is he hiding?
Yeah.
Somebody should call him and tell him to watch this right now.
Yeah, I don't know, Ollie, channeling Zvi here.
If anyone in the New York area who knows V is watching right now, you should contact him. I'm sure he would be very excited about seeing this in action.
And he can always watch it on the archives later in the week if he happens to miss it now. But it is certainly pretty exciting.
I love watching Ali.
Yeah, I mean we got to watch him earlier, and he took the whole tournament down. So he's on his way to doing something similar here, or hopefully repeating that. That would be. I think
if Ali back-to-backs and wins the Legacy thing with Turbo Land,
oh my gosh,
that would be the greatest thing.
No one's done that yet, have they?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had.
I'll do my Azusa Lost but Seeking impression for everyone.
All right. I can't wait. Do we need an overhead camera for that? I mean, isn't that like overhead? Shot kind of thing?
It's kind of an overhead shot. I'll just lean forward.
Okay.
Optical illusion.
Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. So for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco.
And I'm Jacob Van Lunen.
And we're here in Baltimore for the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open. We're in round 3, watching Ali Aintrazi up a game versus David Gearhart. David with a kind of an, I guess it's a 4-color. So it's like an Esper-esh, but he's got red in there. Kind of Stoneforge Mystic, Dark Confidant, Jace the Mind Sculptor deck with Sword of the Meek, Thopter Foundry combo, Umezawa's Jite, and of course Batter Skull alongside that Stoneforge Mystic. Ali playing a very interesting list, as is his tendency. He's playing, it's Turbo Land. I mean, it's about as Turbo Land as it gets. Azusa Lost but Seeking, Moloku the Clouded Mirror, his only creatures, Jace the Mind Sculptor. He's got Exploration to play multiple lands a turn. He's got Elixir of Immortality to keep himself from decking, from drawing all these cards. He's got Horn of Greed drawing him cards off of every land drop. Crucible of Worlds to make sure he hits the multiple land drops. Time Warp to take multiple turns. Walk the Aeons from
because that'll take infinite turns.
Yeah, because when he can buy it back, he just takes infinite turns.
So I'm not sure if Ali knows this, and if this was something he forgot about during deck construction, or if he just chose to not play it. But regrowth is legal.
Yeah,
it seems pretty good here.
Seems like it would be pretty good. Yeah, maybe he just wasn't thinking about it. Is regrowth not legal in Vintage or something? It's
restricted in Vintage.
Restricted in Vintage. Okay.
It's a card that surprisingly does not see like any play in Legacy, even though it's one of the one of the most powerful cards in the format.
It's draw a card from your graveyard, basically.
Yeah, it's
and being able to double up on really powerful spells,
especially strong when you're doubling up on things like Time Warp.
Yeah.
Taking extra turns is something that's very good to copy. So you can loop them for long enough, and you just win.
Yeah, for sure. So how does Fire Covenant work?
So Fire Covenant, as an additional cost, you pay X life, and then it deals X damage, divided any way you choose, among any number of target creatures.
So probably something David decided out in this match.
Yes. Not very good here. And it's also an instant. So with his Batterskull and Thopter Foundry, David's going to have plenty of life, and he can use Fire Covenant, and despite how many creatures his opponent might have, he can just wipe their entire board.
Speaking of wiping the board, David leaves with an Underground Sea, and Ali wastelands it immediately. David follows up with a second Underground Sea, and Ali has a Misty Rainforest. Both players playing pretty fast here in the early turns of Game 2. There we have a Badlands and a Dark Confidant. And Force of Will from Ali, removing Jace the Mind Sculptor. Does David have...
Is he able to reforce?
Yeah, no. So no Bob for David. Second Misty Rainforest for Ali. Rainstorm from David. Ali lets it resolve.
Yeah, something I really like about Mental Misstep in Legacy is just countering my opponent's Brainstorms.
Yeah.
It's so brutal. Like, you lean on Brainstorm so hard.
Yeah. And David cracks a fetch land after that Brainstorm, giving himself a fresh look next turn.
Ali has a Ghost Quarter in his hand that's actually an extra wasteland against David. I don't know if he's aware of that, though.
And Thopter Foundry from David, which appears to have resolved. At least, well, Ali's cracking a Misty Rainforest, so maybe it hasn't yet resolved.
Yeah, now, Ali is... If he's only cracking one and not shortcutting here, then he's probably going to Brainstorm. And then, after he Brainstorms, he can put some things back. And then shuffle with the other land. Alright, so...
That's exactly what he said.
So go ahead and get another Trop. This deck is not only very Zvi Moshowitz, but this deck is also very Ali Aintrazi.
Yeah, he loves the blue-green.
He does love the Turbo Land also.
Yeah, the blue-green Turbo Land is, I feel like that's what I always associate him with. That and Grand Architect in Standard, but even Turbo Land in Standard last year. Ali has a Mishra's Factory to add to the board. And David has a Jace the Mind Sculptor to add.
And Counterspell's gonna say no to that.
Yes, sir.
And now Ali is gonna return serve with his own Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Looks that way. And here comes Jace the Mind Sculptor. Resolves.
And it's time to Brainstorm.
Yeah, Brainstorm from Jace. Sees Crucible, Horn of Greed, and something else, I think. Does that look right to you?
I think a Mental Misstep along with this.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Now he's going to put back the Crucible. He has a Walk the Aeons in hand. So once he gets that Crucible going, if he gets any sort of Exploration or Azusa effect, he can start using the buyback on Walk the Aeons.
Yeah.
And then just play 3 islands a turn every turn.
Yep. Seems like a nice way to close out a game. Infinite turns.
I'm a big fan of taking infinite turns.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I just sit at home and shuffle up a deck and don't even have an opponent, just take infinite turns. Just play by myself.
Is that a Sun Forger?
It is a Sun Forger.
What?
Now, what's that? I remember that card from. It's from like Ravnica.
Yeah, it's from
right?
Rav.
Let's just get it.
It gives the creature +4/+0, and then you pay a red and a white, and it does something. Okay, so for it casting cost 3. The equip cost is 3. It gives the creature +4/+0, and then you can pay a white and a red, and you can unattach Sunforger and search your library for a red or white instant card with a converted mana cost of 4 or less, and cast that card without paying its casting cost. Then shuffle your library.
Unattached Sunforger, right? You said untapped. It sounded like you said untapped. You probably said unattached. Okay.
Unattached, yes.
So Horn of Greed for Ollie. And let's see here. He looks like he's brainstorming with Jace. Puts a couple cards back. Plays Exploration. Oh, is he? Did he? Yeah, Exploration. Kind of hesitated for a second.
Let's see. David's probably going to try to find some sort of
counterspell for that. Probably.
Yeah, I think he wants. He's getting Scrubland. I guess a mental misstep is really what he's looking for. So maybe he's not brainstorming. He's just thinning his library on his turn.
He may have misunderstood Horn, thinking that when a land came into play, he got to draw a card, or is it just Ollie that draws a card? Right? And it's not even Ollie that draws a card to a fetch land, so yeah, not sure exactly. So okay, Exploration did resolve, and David untaps. Okay, so David does get to draw a card. I wasn't sure if that was just Ollie or David. Or, both players.
Yeah.
So he's equipping Sunforger and attacking.
I guess he did not attack Jace.
Yeah, I guess not. Both players just went straight to the life totals. And he appears to be preparing to possibly unattach that, or maybe not. I guess he just holds it up until he needs it.
He might just want to unattach it to kill the Jace.
Ali has to read it so he can understand how this works. A lot of interesting card choices in the last couple of rounds where we've had players having to read cards, us having to look up cards. This is what makes Legacy so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these cards, like Sunforger is a card I really have only played in Limited. And look, a Pyroblast off Sunforger? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. And
kill a Jace.
Deal with Jace. Yeah. So that's why he didn't attack Jace.
Makes sense.
Figured he'd rather do the damage and then, read it again.
One slot left in the $10.
You can't complain about having to read cards, Ollie. You do this to people so often. Alright, so I think Ali just wins when he gets the turn back. He even had a mental misstep for that Pyroblast. Another exploration, that's it. Lights. Yeah. Walk the Eons with buyback.
This deck looks so much fun. It's like so much fun.
Or I guess he maybe wants to time warp first.
I mean, buyback doesn't work very well when someone counters it, so I guess leading with the time warp seems like a smart move just to ensure David doesn't have a force, because he figures if he has a force, he'll force the time warp. At least I would think that seems like a safe bet. And
Crucible. And that's it. Infinite turns for Ali Aintrazi.
Wonder if David knows that's what's about to happen here. I don't see
I highly doubt it. Ali has a force backup.
Yeah. That's certainly helpful. Azusa, Lost with Seeking.
Wow. Now, Ali's going to search up 4 lands here, and that's going to put him at 6 mana. He can then use those 6 lands to cast a Walk the Eons, and he's going to use the buyback ability on Walk the Eons by sacrificing 3 islands. It's going to turn the Walk of the Eons back to his hand. And then with the Azusa exploration and all this other fun stuff he's got going on, he is going to take infinite turns. And it's not really going to be an issue at all.
I don't know if David's just not realized it yet, or... Okay, here we go. Right. Uninterested in watching Ali find a way to kill him.
Well, I mean, he has a Maloku.
Yeah, he has a Maloku somewhere.
He also has factories. He had like 1 in play and an Azusa, so he could just attack his opponent
over and over
again.
No, he definitely can do it. It's just a timely affair. Yeah. Ali's deck is definitely built to procure a winning position more than to win.
It's true. There's a lot of counter spells, a lot of counter magic. For those of you just joining us, I'm Jacob Van Lunen. I'm now here with Glenn Jones, and we're in Baltimore. We're covering the Star City Games Legacy Open event here, and we just watched a match where Ali Aintrazi picked up his 3rd win in a row with...
No, it's actually 2-1.
Oh, he's 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh, I was misinformed then. So he's 2-1, playing Turboland.